My name is Last Down of Mystery Man, and this is my sixth ever Bold and the Beautiful review for the episode that aired on Friday, April 21st, 2023. The 9,000 and third episode of the Bold and the Beautiful. That's a lot of episodes. I started watching this program when it was above 6,000 episodes 11 years ago. No, 12 years ago. I was 9 years old. I'm 21 now. Man, that's a long time. But, well, I mean, this is kind of the episode I kind of hinted at the end of my review yesterday. I was at the end of it. I made a big note to the fact that Widge Forrester Jr. was returning, but I didn't realize that we was getting another return of someone who I've always liked. I don't know how everybody feels about it, but I've always liked Charlie Webb. I think Webber. What? Charlie Webber, right? Yeah, Charlie Webber. Charlie Webber is back. You know, the security guy that works at Forrester. You know, Pam's boyfriend, husband, fiance. Anyway, the guy that's been in a relationship with Pam, who I wish Pam was still on because I love Pam. She was always great. I always found Pam to be awesome. But you know, the actress is now on days at General Hospital as head of Webber. Which, speaking of that, I can't wait till I get to my first GH review. That's gonna be some fun. But anyways, getting into this, Charlie Webber is back as well, who I always liked. I always like his character. He's always funny. He always brings such an energy of I am not a psychopath. I am not insane. I am not crazy. I am just a dude who worked with a bunch of people who have lost their minds. And I really enjoyed him in this episode because he was like, Widge, I got something to tell you. And he was Widge like, what? Where there's a guy downstairs pretending like he's Widge Forrester. I'm thinking, well, clearly this is your son RJ, but I'll go with it. Let's go with it. Okay, I'll go with this. Okay, Charlie's like, yeah, some guy pretending to be Widge Forrester. Where you're like, oh really? Someone pretending to be me? I mean, I don't know who would. I mean, Widge, you're not the guy. You're not the first guy I would want to pretend to be. You know, you ain't the first guy I would want to pretend to be. I mean, maybe if you was Leonardo DiCaprio or something, or Brad Pitt, maybe. But Widge Forrester might be my last option for a guy I would want to pretend to be. But we all know what this is. We all know what that setup. But I thought that was pretty funny. So they're talking about that. No, nothing. Oh wait, no. Didn't Charlie tell Widge, Widge, you are the king of nothing. Which, in a way, I guess he's technically not wrong. Widge is technically the king of nothing because, well, he's not even the king. He's like co-king with his daughter. Because they're co-CEOs, which how did that happen again? Does anybody remember how that exactly happened? I gotta go back. I can't remember when they became co-CEOs, honestly. I cannot remember, because I know the CEO position went from Eric to Rick. No, Eric to Widge at some point before Widge left, before Walmart's left as Widge. Then went to Rick, which hopefully one day Wick come back, so I can tell you all about my opinions on Wick, because I mean, I got a lot of opinions on Wick, and some of them are nice, some of them are not. Then it went to Wick, then I think it went to Wick, then they go to Steffi, and then at some point Steffi and Widge became co-CEOs, and isn't like Carter also like the CBO or something, like he's third in command or something? I know. The figurehead at Forrester has always confused me. I've never understood the CEO position or how they keep having multiple CEOs. I've never understood it, but okay. But anyway, Charlie leaves. And then we get Deacon and Sheila talking, and that was interesting, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I just kind of feel bad for Deacon because he clearly fell in love with this woman somehow, and he's got to pretend like he's not in love with her, or he got to pretend like he never cared about her. Which, I mean, this is still sad. I feel bad. I don't know if I'm supposed to. I can't know how I feel about Sheila because, well, most of everything Sheila did, I wasn't alive for. I wasn't alive. So I really don't know how to really feel about Sheila. But everything I've heard about her, haven't heard good things, and some of the stuff I've seen on YouTube, she doesn't come off as the greatest person in the world, but I don't know. I don't know. Maybe. Oh, I don't know. Then we get a interesting conversation, I guess, between Brooke and Hope, which thankfully for once it was not about Thomas, because 4 days! It's been 4 whole days without Thomas on this program. I think that's cause for a celebration. Honestly, I think this calls for. Anybody ever? You guys like Chick-fil-A? Big fan of Chick-fil-A. Cheers to that. Cheers to the fact that Thomas has not been on his program in 4 days, and the program is so much more lively, so much more entertaining, so much more fun to watch. Less of this guy who pretending like he's obsessed with who pretending like he's not obsessed with Hope, but he clearly is because that's his character now. He has one move. I'm Thomas Forrester. I'm obsessed with Hope for some reason. I don't get it, but somebody does. I'm assuming that's his whole character now. So it's been so nice without him on the show because I haven't had the urge to go, oh yeah, you killed Beth. Oh wait, no, I'm sorry, no. Thomas didn't murder Beth. Thomas murdered Emma. And Beth never died to begin with. I'm sorry about that, but sorry about that. Hold on, sorry. Sometimes my words and stuff I misunderstand. So just forget that part. Just forget that last part. So anyway, what I'm trying to say is that, you don't think about the fact that Thomas, lied about Beth, murdered Emma when he's not on the program because there's not a giant reminder to you every 5 seconds that he did it. That's another problem I have with Thomas. He's just a giant reminder of how horrible 2019 Bold and the Beautiful was. Because that is the worst year of a soap opera. But they're talking, and ironically the conversation comes to RJ. Oh no, first Hope is like, let me guess, you want to talk to me about Tom? Oh, did she seemed more so upset that she had to, that her mom wanted to talk to her about Thomas. Is it me, or is it interesting how Hope has only mentioned Thomas, twice in, the past 2 episodes? I don't know what to tell you, Hope and Thomas fans, but she does not seem like she cares about him. She talked about Sheila more in the past, 2 episodes than she did Thomas. At this point, I don't know what to tell you people, but something's changed. Something changed, people. Something has changed, and it sure ain't Thomas, but something has changed in Hope. But anyways, getting into this scene, it started off with Douglas also hasn't been on in a month, which that's all I'm gonna say about that. I do not want to put a child down. I do not want to say anything bad about child because I think that is wrong. I don't want to say anything bad about child. All I'm gonna say there is I think Douglas needs a wake up call somehow, and I think someone just needs to sit him down and tell him the truth. Come on, Brad. Might have seen where someone tells Douglas the truth. It can't be that difficult. But they're talking. Oh yeah, Douglas forgot his binder. Also, does kids have binders what is he in 2nd grade now or something? Is he 8, so he'd be in 2nd grade? Who has a binder in 2nd grade? How much stuff do you do? How much schoolwork do you do in 2nd grade to have a binder? I didn't have a binder in 2nd grade. Granted, I was also in 2nd grade. 12 years ago. 12 years ago. 12 years ago I was in 2nd grade, so I haven't been in 2nd grade not a short period ago. 12 years ago I was in 2nd grade, and all we did was learn multiplication for the first time ever, and we had no binders. We just had papers. So I don't know if the school system in apparently Bradbell, LA apparently makes you require a lot more schooling now, or is that just a new school system now for elementary school? Because I sure wasn't learning. I sure didn't need a binder when I was in school, but I've heard that this new school system is confusing. Also, I didn't like the fact that she had to say mother like son. He is not your son, Hope. That line does not work because you did not give birth to this kid. Biologically, he is not your son, so you cannot say something like that. Because no one even if you adopt a child, you can't say that. Unless you adopt a child at birth, then you can say that. But wasn't he 5 when he met you? How is it mother like son? That line annoyed me so much. This whole Hope always saying her son, my lovely son, my mature son, my son, no, he's not. That always upsets me and offends me that she calls him that. It just does not work, people. But they're talking, ironically, they're not talking about her fake son. Instead, Brooke goes, I miss him. And Hope is like, who? Widge, somebody. Apparently she misses RJ because apparently her and RJ have been, had always been talking, which I did not know because RJ was not mentioned on this program until I think like what last Friday? No, not last Friday. Like 2 Fridays ago or something. Until he was brought back, because that's what Brad Bell does. Whenever he brings a character back, they start getting mentioned more. That's another way you can tell if you're bringing a character back. But they're talking and talking about that, and Brooks saying, "Oh yeah, I miss my son RJ," and I'm like, "Really? Well, maybe we could have had a phone conversation between you and RJ at some point, you know. I mean, we didn't. I know they probably didn't want to show his face yet until he came back. But you guys could have talked over the phone, or you could have just been, hey RJ, how you doing? I'm good. Okay, cool. Love you. They could have set this up better, and we could have missed out on the whole Taylor and Brooke shitty friendship. Or she could have brought it up with Taylor. I don't know. Could have told Taylor, hey, I miss my son. Oh, you mean the one you had with Widge? Oh yeah. I mean, you could have mentioned that at some point instead of the whole Hollis situation that I don't care about. That no one cares about, honestly. But they're talking, and apparently, Hope is also in contact with RJ, which I do not believe whatsoever. I don't know why all of a sudden we all now. I don't know why Brad Bell decided all of a sudden I'm gonna make it seem like Hope has been talking to RJ this whole time. Yeah, sure she has. Yeah, sure she has. Yeah, sure she has. I mean, I'm not. I think that because RJ is coming back, that is going to make Hope hate having these fake feelings for Thomas even more. Because think about this: RJ is Hope's brother by Brooke, but RJ is also Thomas's brother by Widge. So, do you guys honestly think that Hope is going to be okay with the fact that she has feelings for a dude she shares a brother with? Like, whatever you want to say, or you want to go, oh, well, they're not related. I don't care. That's not the point. The point is, I do not think Hope is stupid enough to not care about her brother. Now, do I believe she's been talking to him for months on the phone? I know. Absolutely not. Absolutely, there's no way possible that is true. But maybe, I don't know, maybe. Which we could have seen that scene. Why couldn't we have got that scene, like, I don't know, 5 days ago, instead of the whole, oh, I'm thinking about Thomas and the creepiest flashbacks of all time, which still makes no sense to me. Maybe we could have got a scene with her talking about RJ. Oh, maybe we could have got. Oh, maybe during that whole, 2 days of Steffi and Hope having a conversation, maybe one of them could have mentioned RJ, because Steffi, that's also your brother, Steffi too. But then again, you've never given a damn about RJ to begin with. To you, he's always been Brooke's bastard child. To you, Steffi, because you've never given a damn about him. Go back and watch the episode. Show me anytime Steffi has ever mentioned RJ in a positive light. You can't. It's impossible. But they're talking. I'm like, this is when Hope is so likable. Whenever she's talking and she's not talking about Thomas, it's like, this woman seems like the nicest woman on this show sometimes. She comes off as so nice and funny and interesting and pretty and attractive too, because whenever she's around Thomas, Hope gets so much less attractive. I mean, it is amazing that those two people in a room together somehow makes a beautiful woman very unattractive. To me personally, I just can't get over all the stuff that's just happened. I'm sorry, I just can't. But then shit. All these old characters coming back is very confusing right now, but I'll get to it. So Charlie is come back and go, Widge, I figured it out. I found a guy. The guy's here. Would you like to meet? I'm busy. He's like, I think you're gonna want to meet him, so take a rain check. Yes. He's like, remember that Widge Forrester character I was telling you about? Hey, you mean a few minutes ago? Yeah, that's what I liked about this episode. I liked when Widge said that, because it was something different, you know what I mean? It wasn't the same repeating shit of, oh yeah, I think my son's changed. Yeah. It was something different. It was something lively. It was something interesting. Charlie's making jokes. Charlie's, not so, insane. He's funny. He's interesting. He's not a crybaby. So Charlie leaves the door, and RJ knocks on it, and he's like, it's me. And all I'm thinking to myself is, finally! Hopefully, the man who can save this program is here. Also, the actor, I have no idea what his name is, but he's jacked. That's crap. I mean, Jude Law, this dude is in shape. I don't know how old he is, but man, is this dude in shape? That was literally the first. That was, geez. I always saw a picture of him, but man, This dude is in good shape. This dude is in pretty good shape. Good for him. I don't know what his workout plan is, but good Lord, I know I could use it. Cause I'm trying to lose some weight here, but you just see this part of me, but so Rich smiles and they hug and I'm like, this is nice because as I've been saying for a while on here, I think RJ's coming back is the big reason why Thomas and Hope will never get together because thanks to my good friend Mel, she's giving me the spoilers on this and she has told me that RJ is coming back for a reason and has big plans for why he's back. So I don't think his plans are to just randomly come back and sit on his ass and do nothing. I mean, he's not going to be Zende, who does nothing on this program but be there. And he's not going to be Paris, who is so useless to this program that if she wasn't on this program, no one would know the difference. I mean, you could take a sock puppet, give it some eyes, give it some hair, say it's Paris, and there would be no difference. Absolutely zero difference. Probably be a much more interesting character. Honestly, because Paris brings nothing to this program. Absolutely nothing. And at least Zende is at least a Forrester. So at least he brings that. You know what I mean? He's at least related to these people. But we all know who Paris is related to, and we would all like to forget that guy was ever on this show. Dr. Reese Buckingham. That guy. So RJ's this new guy that plays RJ, whose name I can't remember right now for many ways. I think isn't he like Joshua or something? Whatever his name is. I know he was on some program. I think I've seen him something. Is he on Stranger Things? That guy or something. Anyways, he's talking. I was thinking, how is this guy going to be as an actor? And I like him honestly. He's interesting. He's funny. He sounds like he got it all together. He doesn't sound like he's being written as an idiot. So he's not gonna like Thomas. That's for sure. He's definitely not gonna like Thomas. So him and RJ are talking, and RJ asks him if he's seen his videos, because apparently RJ's whole thing has been that he's been bungee jumping, which I would love to bungee jump, but every time I ask my mom to take me, she always tells me no, and it's too dangerous. Like, come on, Mom, it can't be that dangerous. Because even though I'm 21, my mom is still the boss, because as she puts it, she will always be the boss until I move out, basically. So apparently RJ's whole new thing is that he bungee jumps and he makes videos about it. So he's an aspiring YouTuber, just like me. That's gonna make me like his character even more, because I'm imagining we're gonna get a lot of content with RJ about him maybe possibly being an influencer on YouTube and stuff, and I'm trying to be an influencer too on YouTube. So that should probably make me like his character even more, So they're talking. Oh, and then we go back to Brooke and Hope, and this part of this conversation, I was like, where were you? You're making Brooke come off as a mother who loves her children now? Yeah, okay. So they're talking, and Brooke's like, I really miss RJ. I really wish he was here. And Hope is like, okay, cool. And Brooke is like, when was the last time you talked to him? And apparently Hope says, a couple of days ago. I'm like, when was that? When was that? Oh, did you tell him about how you're fantasizing about his brother? Did you tell him that, Hope? Did you tell him Did you tell him you're having all your adultery thoughts? Did you tell your brother that? I'm sure he would love to hear that. I'm sure RJ would love to hear you talk about the fact that you and his brother have a son together. I'm sure RJ would love that. I'm sure RJ's not going to be creeped out by that, because I know if I had a sister and a brother, and even if they was by two, even if one was by my mom and one was by my dad, and they was not related to each other, I would be creeped out to know that I have a nephew who is somehow both my sister's son and my brother's son. Also, let's not forget the fact that, oh yeah, Thomas lied about RJ's niece being dead. So I'm sure that's not going to be too happy. I'm sure RJ's not going to be too happy by that. You know what I mean? So yeah, Hope, maybe you should tell your brother that. I'm sure he could help you. Or I'm sure he could just probably look you in your face and go, really? You're that stupid? Okay. Geez, maybe you should leave again. Oh yeah, then we got a part of this show. Did Brad Belcher try to recreate history or something? Because Brooke said that Hope is her only child who never left LA. What? What is that? Where did that come from, Brad? Hope never left LA. What about those 4 years she was in Italy? 2015, she left in 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017. She was not on this program. For 4 years, she was not on this program. So I don't know where that came from. Hope is the only child to stay in LA. No, she left for 4 years, you know, and came back in 2018 with one goal: get Liam back. 2019, I'm an idiot. 2020, stuff. Still an idiot. 2021, maybe still an idiot. 22. I don't know. 2022, I missed most of the beginning stuff of that. I missed most of January, February, and March and April of that stuff. I have no idea about the whole Finn being shot angle, the whole thing that everybody was upset about Hope and Brooke for last year. I missed out on most of that because, well, as I've said in a couple other videos, it was apparently Steffi had amnesia and thought she was still married to Liam, which I really did not feel like watching because I really did not feel like having to watch two people having to watch a character, but having to watch something and pretend like it's 27 and pretend like it's 2016 again. So that happened. So they're talking. I'm like, this is the most nothing is happening conversation I've seen in a while, which is saying a lot because I'm like, so now we're trying to say that Hope didn't run away to Italy after her son with Wyatt died. She's apparently been in LA this whole time. We're also trying to pretend like Brooks never left LA for any conceivable amount of time, which is not true, considering Brooke left LA, considering Hope left LA in the first point in 2014 to go be with her mom in Italy, and then Brooke came back. So why are we recreating history here, people? Why? Why are we recreating history here, people? Also, wasn't Wick literally in LA for what? From when Jacob Young took back over the role in like what 2012, late 2011, early 2012 to about what mid 2018. Wick was in LA the whole time. So I don't know what this whole recreated history is. And I guess Bridget's whole thing is, hi, I'm here. Okay, I'm leaving again. Bridget just randomly shows up. But we don't have enough time to talk about the complicated relationship between Brooke and Bridget because we all know what happened there. I believe it's called a little something called hope. But anyways, so then RJ is talking to Widge. No. Then RJ talked to Widge about the fact that he's, about what he's been doing, and apparently he's been bungee jumping. He apparently went to Denmark and got licorice, which I like licorice, but I like licorice, but I don't think Denmark is really. I didn't know Denmark was known for its licorice, but other than I guess I should mention Katie and Carter because apparently they're still a thing with Bill apparently. Oh yeah, I also found out that the actor that plays Carter, Victor something last name, I can't think of people's last name right now, but Victor, the guy that played Carter, apparently is a writer on this program, which I did not know, which really makes this whole thing so bizarre that he would write his character to basically fall in love with a woman who is still clearly attracted to another man. Like, it's one thing when Brad Bell does it, but Carter, you write on this program yourself, dude. Stop making your character an idiot. Like, if I wrote for myself, I would make me come off the nicest man ever. I would also make myself come off as the nicest man ever, but I don't know, maybe he can't do, maybe he's not allowed to do that since he's white for this show, but he's also, a character on it, so, Get that also explains why Carter has, why no one has ever, why the actor has never once ever thought about leaving. Or did he leave? He got a job as an actor and as a writer. That guy's probably loaded. Good for him. He's made it. So they're talking. So then the whole Brooke and Hope conversation ends with Hope and Brooke talking about RJ some more, and Brooke, I really miss my son. I really wish he was here. And you're my only child to never leave me. Brooke, Hope like, oh, does that make me your favorite? And I don't know how that came off to some people, but to me it came out kind of funny and kind of sweet, like a mother-daughter bonding moment or something, how they're mother and daughter, but I guess some people look at it as Hope kind of being childish, but no more less stupid than her having feelings for Thomas, which she does not, because which she does not now, because clearly, if she's still there, I clearly think if she's still there, Brad Bell will be shoving it down our throats, and well, she's mentioned Thomas less than that. So I've talked about Thomas more than she has at this point. Oh, I talk about Thomas more on my 6 episodes of Hope as in like the last 2 days. And I definitely don't like Thomas. I made that abundantly clear, and I've talked about him more. So, let me tell you what that means. But yeah, back to RJ. He's talking to Widge, and I really like RJ so far. He's funny, he's interesting, he's jacked. He doesn't come off as an idiot. It definitely seems like he's not going to be a fan of Thomas because, well, can you blame him? Have you met Thomas? But, you know. Other than that, I'm interested to see where the RJ character goes, because Hope mentioned something about him making animations, which animations is what the process to make cartoon is called, Hope. So I don't know why you had to say that way. Animation is how cartoons are made. It's called the animation process, because I think that's how I've always been taught. But then again, I don't know. I don't know. I made 6 YouTube videos about The Bold and Beautiful, and I've had it edited any of them because I have no idea how to edit. So if someone knows, maybe you can tell me some. Maybe you can show me an app or something where I can edit stuff. You know. But I really, really enjoyed this episode. Honestly, it was a really interesting episode, and I actually liked the fact that RJ wasn't introduced at the end of the episode. He came in, like, I think maybe 10 minutes into the episode, so we got like close to like maybe what 10 maybe like what 15 maybe like 15 minutes with him, with him coming in, so it wasn't just at the end, RJ, I'm here, it was really, we actually got to already hear from him talking with Widge, so we got to see what the chemistry is there, and I think Widge and him I think him and Widge got a lot of chemistry together, because I think the guy that plays RJ, it's quite possibly probably the best person they could hire, because the guy is a phenomenal actor, because I think he was in Stranger Things at some point. No, he was in something I've seen, but I just don't know what it is. Don't know what it is, but I think this guy is going to be very interesting. I think this guy is going to bring a lot of, hopefully going to bring something new to the show, because as my friend Mel have told me, he's here back for a reason, and he's going to explain why he's back, and according to her, the spoilers say that Thomas is not too happy that his baby brother is back. Wonder why that is. Why you're not happy, Thomas? You don't love your brother or something? I mean, you probably don't, because, well, he's Brooke's son, and, well, now you pretend you like Brooke, but you really don't. Let's be perfectly honest here, Thomas. I wonder something. When Caroline died, Thomas, did she take your balls with her when she died? Did she, Thomas? That's why you became a pathetic loser? Because clearly before Caroline died, Thomas, at least he was a man. I just think I'm back to my natural sense of, I think RJ's going to possibly become hated by the Hope and Thomas fan, because, well, he's not going to be a big fan of those people together. Because nobody wants their sister to marry their brother. Trust me. I have no sibling, but trust me, I know I wouldn't. I don't know if there's much else to talk about, because Deacon and Sheila was talking about something, but I'm like, can we just get back to RJ already? I'm like, I get it. Deacon liked Sheila liked Deacon. He's very sorry that he stabbed her in the back, that he betrayed her, but he did it because, well, he's not an idiot. I mean, hey, Sheila, you killed 2 people. Every man for himself at that point. I'm sorry, every man and woman for themselves. Every man and woman for themselves. Gotta look out for yourself at a certain point. And plus, Deacon is the war's best father. So we all know what's gonna happen there. He's probably gonna help break her out. Hope's gonna be mad at him. Hope's gonna cry. Hope's gonna be upset about that. That might make her hate Thomas even more, honestly. There are just so many different ways that Hope can end up hating Thomas, with Thomas doing nothing. You know what I mean? Because I saw a weird theory on a YouTube video, which I don't know if this woman just made it because she was bored, or she thought that this might actually legitimately happen. But apparently there was some theory that Liam's going to get into like a major car accident, and that's going to make Hope realize that she doesn't want to be with Thomas, and those feelings just fleeted, which is some fleeting theories because she was afraid she was going to lose Liam. Which honestly I think, knowing Brad Bell, that might actually be what he goes with. But I think it's going to be RJ because I think RJ is back, and I think Hope and RJ are going to spend a lot more time together, bonding as brother and sister. And I think RJ's really going to be able to help Hope walk through all her mental problems, and he's not going to have anything nice to say about Thomas, so he's gonna have nothing nice to say about Thomas. So something tells me Hope is going to listen to her brother. I would hope. I would hope that Hope would listen to her brother and not treat him like garbage like Steffy and Thomas had for most of his life. I mean, I've seen this show for 12 years, and there's only ever been like maybe the only time Thomas was ever nice to RJ was when Pierce Ford was Thomas. Because as I've said, Pierce Ford is the best version of Thomas on this program. Absolutely. The best version of Thomas Forrester. But I can't blame the guy for quitting because I saw an interview with him where even he understood that Thomas Forrester was going to be taken in a direction that he didn't like. So he's like, I'm done. Like, thanks a lot for the past... Thanks a lot for the past 4 years, but I'm done. Thank you a lot, but I'm done. Can't blame him there. I mean, I probably would leave too. So yeah, other than that, I guess not much else happened. This was kind of like the return of Ridge Forrester Jr. episode. And I think it really came off as that. I think RJ really could help this show turn over a new leaf. Because this show needs something. Some character to turn this ship around. Because the past month since March, since the episode where Douglas said what he said, this show has been quite possibly at some points unwatchable because of Thomas. Like the stuff that he has done in the past month has made this show the closest I have ever seen it to being unwatchable, as much as 2019 was unwatchable. Most of 2019, for 8 months of 2019, that program was unwatchable. I would watch it, I would get visibly pissed off because it was just so stupid during that time period. It is the dumbest program I've ever seen in my life. And for the past month, this has been the same program. I mean, for the past month, we have had Hope and Thomas fans go on and on about this greatness that these two people are going to have together. And nobody else sees it. And even people who sees it only sees it because she's clearly going to sleep with him and feel bad about it. But now, RJ is back, and RJ is clearly going to help Hope work through these new imaginary feelings that she's had for Thomas. And Thomas is going to be upset because no longer can he emotionally manipulate Hope. Because RJ's here now. And apparently RJ is the only character on this show who's going to stand up to Thomas. Because I was hoping it was going to be Liam, but, apparently Liam can't do that because, I guess Brad Bell needs him to be written like that. So people who hate Liam can continue to hate Liam. Also, does the people who like Hope and Thomas together really like Hope and Thomas together? Or do they just hate Liam so much that they don't want him to be happy? It's one of the two, honestly.